Salutations, guys. I hope you guys are well. Alright, guys. Nkululeko Nkewu says male supporters in South Africa, or the male football supporters, they lack the intellect, right? Meaning they are fools. They lack the intellect, right? So I want us to explore that. Do you think he's right for saying so? Do you think Nkululeko Nkewu is correct to say the male football supporters in South Africa, they lack the intellect, they lack the reasoning capacity? Because I mean, of course, if you lack the intellect, of course you will lack the reasoning capacity, right? And he's saying so, he's informed by how football fans in South Africa usually react, right? In terms of the discussions and all of that, in terms of the loyalty that they have for their football clubs, right? I mean, you know these are the people who defend their football clubs, the football clubs that they support. They'll defend them at all costs, right? They'll defend them at all costs. If you were to put facts in front of them, right? If you were to put statistics in front of them, they will still argue and contest those facts. And unfortunately, they will not be using any counter stats or counter facts, right, to contest the proposition that you are making, or the stats that you are advancing, right? So then Nkululeko Nkewu of Itiski TV says that clearly these are not the brightest of the people. Say the football fans in South Africa, especially the males, are not the brightest. So I want to get with you guys. Do you think it's correct for saying that? And I just also wanted to stretch it a bit outside of the sports, or outside of the football. While we're still inside the football, look at how the Kaizer Chiefs fans reacted on Saturday, right? When Kaizer Chiefs was playing Mamelodi Sundowns. Was there a reason for them to react in that particular fashion, right? Was there any justification or justifiable reason for them to behave in that fashion, for them to invade the pitch, for them to attack match officials? Because of all the goals that the Kaizer Chiefs conceded, all were legitimate goals. But you had those male fans invading the pitch. Is he not justified then for saying the football fans in South Africa, especially the male, they lack the intellect, right? They lack the intellect to decipher or to navigate complex issues. They are just so simplistic. For them, everything is black and white, right? But like I said, I want to move it away even from the stretch it even outside of the football or outside the sports sphere. Look at how people vote in South Africa, right? Look at how people vote for their oppressors. How many times has the ANC failed black people? The poverty, the unemployment, the inequality that we are subjected to as a country, it is largely because of the ANC, because it is defending the interest of the white monopoly capital. But black people still vote the African National Congress. You still got black people who vote for the Democratic Alliance, a political party which has made it clear in terms of its policies that it is opposed to transformation. It is opposed to affirmative action. It is opposed to the black economic empowerment. This is a political party in each and every of its policies. It is quite clearly against black people. It is anti-black, but black people still vote for that political party, right? So what does that tell you about the intellect, right? Hence, I'm asking the question that doesn't Nkululeko have a point? Or do you regard it just as being insulting? As I'm seeing the reaction from some of the people, most people I can see, be it on Twitter, Facebook, people feel very insulted by what Nkululeko and Nkewu said. But if we put emotions aside, can we really say that these football fans, and I'm adding my own emphasis that I'm stretching even far from the football or from the sports, but into the society in general, can we say we are the brightest of people? All right. For a moment that we put emotions aside, but we apply our own intellect. Because for you to determine whether people are the brightest or are not the brightest, it is through their reasoning and their conduct. So the way we've been conducting ourselves, can we proudly claim that indeed we do have that necessary intellect? All right? Can we claim that? Because I know it is the easiest thing to feel insulted. Because once you feel insulted, and it means now you must move into the defensive mode. Right? And then once you get into defensive mode, it means now you no longer have to. Right? Take any accountability for your actions. Right? Because once you are in a defensive mode, then you advance into attacking mode. Right? It means now you lose the essence of what the question was. That in terms of how we are reasoning, in terms of how we're conducting ourselves, is this how people who are bright, people who have the intellect, conduct themselves? I think it's a question that each and every individual, and I've always said my platform is concerned with black people, that we as black people, we need, away from the crowd, away from the noise, away from the influences, but you as an individual, we have to apply your own mind, right? Critically reflect on the decisions that you've been making. Critically reflect on how you've been conducting yourself, right? And then ask yourself the question that, is this how a bright person, is this how a person with an intellect would conduct themselves? Because it is only through such an exercise that we can be able to work on our own weaknesses, right? It is through acknowledging those weaknesses that we can be able to improve, that you can be able to do something, right? Because that's the old saying that you cannot fix it if it is not broken. Meaning, if we do not see anything wrong with how we've been conducting ourselves, if we do not see anything wrong with the kind of decisions that we've been making, then it means we cannot be making any effort to correct or improve the situation. Because if you believe all is well, if you believe that it is not broken, of course you're not going to be able to fix it, because you cannot fix it if you believe that it is not broken. It is only when we acknowledge that it is broken, it is only when we acknowledge that there's something wrong here, that's when now you have to make an effort to see how do you go about correcting the situation, making things better, improving the situation. You see. So maybe he needed to say what he said to provoke you so that you can begin to think critically and reflect critically on how you've been conducting yourself or how we've been conducting ourselves as black people. You see. But anyway, this is my view. Let me hear yours. Feel free to comment in the comment section below. Let me hear yours. Is Nkululeko correct to saying that we lack the intellect? We are not the brightest of people. Right? Feel free to share the video on our social media platforms, and please remember to subscribe if you've not yet subscribed to the channel. Thanks, my Africa.